Hello, this is Old School from WhatTheBuck.net, reporting from Valrico, Florida, Studio 76, rocking the old school jersey because for the first time since we went to the pewter and red, the Buccaneers are going to rock their old creamsicle with the Bucco Bruce. You see the helmets behind me. You know, proud lineage, it depends on your point of view. Obviously, the times in the orange were not particularly proud. We had a couple of bright spots there, especially in 1979, getting the NFC Championship game with Doug Williams. Obviously, we're proud of our man Leroy Selmon in the Hall of Fame. We're going to be honoring him this week with an induction to our first Ring of Honor. But to be honest, right now, it's not happy in Buckland. We're going to talk a little bit about the Green Bay Packers today. We don't have a whole lot of time on these YouTube clips and fan versus fan clips to get into a lot of detail, but the Packers come in here. This is an old Battle of the Bays. This used to be a, twice a year NFC Central, NFC Norris matchup, and, historically it's gone back and forth. This year, the Packers look solid. I watched that game against Minnesota. I've watched them, in a couple of other games throughout the year. Aaron Rodgers looks very good. The receiving core is solid. Defense looks tremendous. An amazing group of young linebackers and two tremendous players in the secondary with Woodson and Harris. And that's not even talking about their defensive line. So this is a huge task for the Buccaneers, who have not been able to beat anybody this year. Most experts are now picking them to go winless. I'm not sure what the odds are. It was 30-1 against earlier in the year. But, I mean, as the season progresses, there's not a lot of winnable games, as they say, on this schedule. I was thinking Carolina was winnable, but they came out and played really good football last week, despite being what I consider a bad team. But at this point, I'm not sure who we're going to beat. But we're going to talk about what it would take to beat the Packers this week. Aaron Rodgers, like I said, is a stud. He's got a 14-2 TD to interception ratio. That is sick. It's absolutely sick. Now, he has taken 31 sacks, so you could say he's holding the ball, and that's why he's not throwing the picks. Hey, I don't know a coach in the league who would tell you that they would rather have a pick than a sack. So, especially when you look at what the Packers are doing on the offensive side of the ball, both of their top receivers, Driver and Jennings, are averaging better than 15 yards of reception. So when you get back into 2nd and 15 or 3rd and 15, where most teams like us will go, we don't have a play in the playbook for that. That's a draw play. The Packers, pretty much any pass to their one or two receiver could go 15, 16, 17 yards, and they're still in decent down and distance. Now, obviously, a coach doesn't want to be in that position, but it sure as hell would be nice to know you could be. On the defensive side of the ball, Dom Capers comes in. They move to a 3-4, and they go out and get B.J. Raji. They got Clay Matthews. They got A.J. Hawk, Nick Barnett. This is a team that swarms to the football. I think they're giving up the 4th lowest, or maybe the first. I'm sorry, folks. I didn't check my stats before the actual recording here. Yards per carry in the league, which does not bode well for a team that wants to try and establish the run. Now, when you look at the passing game against this defense, like I mentioned before, with Woodson and Harris back there, these guys can flat lock people down. And with our receiving core being as weak as it is, I'm not sure that they're going to see any openings with Antonio Bryan and Michael Clayton if we're dumb enough to start him. As Sammy Strouder as the third, he may get a chance to see some light. He's been showing some signs of some good signs. Hopefully he'll get more PT. But I do expect the tight ends to be the target. Kellen Winslow, Jeremy Stevens, if he's healthy. That's going to be who young quarterback Josh Freeman, who's our number 1 draft pick this year, who will be starting this week, will have to look to. I expect the Bucs to try and establish a running game, though Coach Olson has not proven that he is willing to do that and has become my most hated coach in the universe because he will not commit to that running game, which is what he needs to do. But Josh Freeman, out of K-State, big arm, big kid, 6'4". They say he's doing well in practice. Obviously, you saw my videos earlier. I wasn't a big fan of this pick, but he's the guy we went with. That's the guy that Raheem is betting is going to be the franchise quarterback for the future. This is when it all starts. It's going to be a rough, rocky road. But if Coach Olson can support him, if the offensive line can play well, if we can establish the run, any quarterback can beat any team. It's about basics and fundamentals. Do I think it's likely against this team? No, I don't. But we're at home. There should be some decent energy out there. And on the offensive side of the ball, there are enough playmakers across the squad that they should be able to score some points if they can put it all together. On the defensive side of the ball, we've got to take advantage of that 31 sacks. Jimmy Wilkerson, Styles White, Dre Moore if he gets in there. Kyle Moore may get some snaps this week. We've got to get these young guys in there, get into the quarterback, and create some turnovers. Aqib Talib had some bad press this week. We don't have time to go into it in this video. We'll do it on another video, but he is a lockdown corner. He's playing well. Rondé's playing well. Tanar Jackson's gotten better each week since he's come back. On the defensive side of the ball, we've got to make sure we stay behind those receivers. We don't want them getting behind us. So I do expect to see Coach Bates dial up the coefficient of zone versus the coefficient of bump and run and bump coverage and man coverage. So I do hope the Bucs can win. If they put it all together, I think they can. I do expect to see this a total score somewhere around 50 to 60 points. And I always predict the Bucs will win. I know that. I know that makes me a clown and a homer, and that's okay, but I think if we do all the things we can do, this is going to be like a 4-point differential game. This isn't going to be a blowout one way or the other if we do the things we need to do. If we don't, if we go in and play half-assed, if we go in there and don't show up to the third quarter, this could get out of hand quickly, and it's going to get ugly. The fans down here are not happy with what's going on in Tampa. So I am going to pick a 27-20 or a 30-27 victory for the Bucs. I know 30 points out of our offense would seem amazing, but I'm hoping that our ends can get in there and get some fumbles from Aaron Rodgers, and we can convert those into points. So we'll be back Monday night to discuss this game. Hopefully you guys will tune in. Hopefully you like this video. Go ahead and rate it and let me know what you think. See you next time.